Going for a 4-4-2.
He didn't know what was going on in the room.
Elias managed to refrain from swearing.
He said, if you've got a problem with me, let's sort it out in the gym.
He's exactly the same as Arlo. The thing is...
Come on! Where has that come from?
Yeah.
They brought through the door. You know, look at the...
What a performance. The guys...
No, that was ruled off. Quite stupid things like that.
Live from Style Space at the Supporters Club. Right.
But he was getting a bit tired, I thought.
Come on! There we go! Come on!
Come on! Yeah! Go! What else is there to look at when we first come on our highlights in words, our review? It's live. I am absolutely buzzing, but you can't tell because I feel like I've just ran a marathon, cycled 100 kilometers, swam the channel to get across to France. Wow! Look at West Ham sitting in 4th place, Champions League spot. It is still on. Welcome back to West Ham United. I am Anton, of course. I'm joined by Stel and Matt. We've just finished doing our match day live. Lads, what is going on? We're just shell-shocked. Let's get the negativity out of the way very quickly. Stel,
Masuaku.
3 weeks in a row.
Here you go. Negativity out of the way straight away.
Stel, 3 weeks in a row. We've been 3-0 up.
Lads, you carry on. Give me 1 second.
Right. Matt, 3-0 up. 3 weeks in a row. We drew the first one 3 each. Have we learned our lesson?
No, not really. I would say slightly because we won the other 2 games, but barely.
Yeah.
We were just saying at the back end there, like we can defend in transitions of a game of attack and defence.
Yeah.
But we do not know how to park the bus and just sit back. Like, we can't do it.
No.
And every time the last 3 games we've tried to do it, it's not worked. That being said, we've just played Leicester, Arsenal, Wolves and Leicester. We scored 9 goals. We picked up 7 points. So,
mate, who would have thought? Who would have thought it? And let's add a couple of more stats in there. We've done a double over Wolves. We've done a double over Leicester in this season. The double over Wolves and the double over Leicester. If you'd have said that to me at the start of the season, mate, I would have been like, what? We've walked away with 12 points from those 4 games. It's unbelievable this season. Let's start dissecting the game, though. Keep your comments coming in. We'll try our best to engage with them while we chat through all today's game. Starting lineups, Matt. I mean, what was your thoughts on it? We'll have a look at it here. Fabianski in goal, Soufal, Dawson, Diop, Creswell, Masuaku, Souček, Noble, Fornals, Lingard and Bowen coming in for the injured Antonio. What was your thoughts?
I mean, to be fair, it's probably the best team. I mean, you could probably try and argue you could fit Benrahma in there somewhere, but that's pretty much the best team we've got available at the moment. You know, we're getting down to that point now of like bare threads with injuries starting to stack up. It's amazing it's taken 31, 32 games to get there.
Yeah.
But that was the best. It was the best we could offer with what's available, in fairness to Moyes.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I mean, listen, I think we pretty much predicted it, didn't we, Still, that Bowen he would start. And then obviously, when it came to the Leicester lineup, we heard the news just before the game, weren't too sure if it was true, and it obviously came true. Maddison wasn't going to start for them. And then we saw that their lineup, and listen, we know that they've got good quality players in there. What was your thoughts when you've seen the Leicester lineup still?
Well, I think, we had the lad on Neil, the Leicester fan, talking about their lineup and talking about certain players that we should look out for, like Pratt, for example, and Iheanacho, and obviously Vardy, etc. I didn't see much of. I was worried, but what he said was that we seem to be very, very well matched, and he thought that they were slightly stronger in defence than we were, and so I think it looked like he felt that we were matched in the middle of the park. and I think for long spells of the game we were, but I think what we've been showing over this season is that we can score. We've been even though David Moyes is a very defensive-minded manager, we've got goals in us. So when he said, their defense was stronger, I thought, yeah, maybe on paper, but I thought we could get at them, and we did. Yeah,
and we absolutely did in abundance, mate. Absolutely. Let's go through the game then. Of course, we started the game, and let's be honest, we couldn't get really a hold on the game, could we, Matt, at the start?
No, Leicester come out flying, didn't they? I mean, look, they are third in the league for a reason. They come out all guns blazing, high pressing. We couldn't do anything. We couldn't even make a pass. We were just hoof balls straight back to them. And at the time, it looked like it was only a matter of time before Leicester scored.
Yeah.
We were like hanging on from the first whistle, which is entirely different to how the first two games previous.
I think it was like the first 7 minutes, and he actually had 2 attempts at goal. And like you said, it was a problem. And we were kind of panicking, thinking, is this going to be the afternoon that West Ham are up for? Then, of course, still, we started to see what Mike Dean and what effect the referee would have in the game. He gave the first yellow card to Thomas Souček in the 10th minute. What was your thoughts on Mike Dean's performance today?
Well, that worries you straight away, doesn't it? What was it, 9 minutes into the game? And from what looked to me quite an innocuous challenge, Mike Dean set the bar.
Yeah.
And you started to think, we kind of said then, well, it looks like Souček's going to be sent off in this game because it was so early in the game. But it was so innocuous. It was so innocuous that you kind of started to get a little bit worried as to where this game was going to go. And then, Dean loves flashing that card, doesn't he?
He does, mate.
He loves flashing that card. But then at a time, like Bowen, throughout the whole first half, kept getting pushed and knocked, etc.
Yeah.
Evans was always all over him. Dean kept letting it go. No, but the linesman on this side of the pitch was worse than Dean.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had an awful game, really, really awful. And what was going on? We were talking about it in the first half with all those late flags. You could see that a player was miles offside, and then 3 minutes later, the bloody linesman's putting his flag up, going it's offside when the game was already in another phase. So I don't like Dean, but there were certain elements of the game he was all right, but then there were other ones when indeed he should have been sent off later in the game.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was like
his inconsistency is not great.
You're right, mate. Yeah, really kind of took West Ham a good 15 solid minutes to even try and really get into the game before we even had our first attempt at goal. I think it was like maybe 18 or 19 minutes into the game when Masuaku found a bit of time and space, whips a ball into the centre, and it evades the unmarked Bowen at the back post. But, at that point then, we were commentating on the game thinking, West Ham are getting into this a little bit now. We're finding a bit of flow. I think we held a couple of good bits of possession. But, Matt, mate, on the 29th minute, beyond, I don't know what you could say, our wildest of dreams, the main man himself, Jesse Lingard, steps up with an incredible goal. West Ham, Masuaku gets down the left-hand side, whips a dangerous-looking ball into the centre. It evades absolutely everyone, finds Soufal on the edge of the box, who looks up, and what does he do? He pings the ball to Lingard on the edge of the 18-yard box, who fires the ball in on the volley in the bottom right-hand corner. 1-0 West Ham. Talk to me, mate.
You said it was only really we just started getting into the game, but, we give credit to Masuaku because he's part of his job on that left wing back position is to get at defenders, and I can't remember who it was. I don't know if it was Pereira he squared up, but he literally just flew past him like he wasn't even there. He said he whipped a ball in, and it was dangerous. I don't think he was aiming for a play. I think he was just whipping a ball into a dangerous position. Like you said, no, it didn't. Everyone missed it. Soufal kept it alive at the back, so we say on the edge of the box on the far side.
Yeah,
and the finish from Jesse, like it was on the volley from Lingard, and they showed you the angle behind the goal. I mean, like you said, in the watch along, you started celebrating, and myself, Stelios, and Alf, we were just, did that go wide? And no,
I was really confused.
The bend on here, you see the angle behind the goal.
It looked like a side netting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only when I saw Lingard himself running off to go and celebrate that you're like, oh, no, he did score. And it's another amazing goal to add to his list that he's done since he's come over here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's firing all cylinders. He just offers us such a good threat. I mean, listen, Leicester didn't hold back, though. They did come back at West Ham. They were trying and trying and trying. They had a couple of chances, but we were handling it. We were dealing with it. And then in the 44th minute, guess who steps up to the plate again? That man, Jesse Lingard. Issa Diop has a long and hopeful clearance up the field, which releases Bowen. And he just slides the ball across the area to an unmarked Lingard, who taps the ball into the back of the net.
Credit to Bowen, though. Credit to Bowen for the run he made and then picking out Lingard to just let Lingard slot it in. You know, Bowen has been much maligned this season. I still don't get why. You know, every player goes through a little blip in a season, which is no more than what Bowen's gone through. But the player I think Bowen is gets better and better and better as the season goes on, and he's and for Bowen to pick the ball up, control it, and then have the nous to make it easy for Lingard to just slot that in. All credit to Bowen, you know, all credit to him.
Absolutely, mate. I mean, listen, Jesse Lingard, 10 games, 7 goals, 3 assists. At that point of the game, it was 3 assists. I mean, unbelievable return, really, isn't it? And I think he scored in 4 successive Premier League appearances, which is the first time in his career. West Ham go 2-0 up, and we're in dreamland. I mean, they went to VAR, didn't they, Matt? They very quickly eradicated that just to make sure there was not an offside. But, you know, we wanted to hold on and make sure we weren't going to concede a goal like we had done against Wolves and like we had done against Arsenal. And we came in at halftime, mate, 2-0 up. What was your thoughts then?
I think we was all a bit sort of stunned because it hadn't really been a sort of 2-0 game. You know, it'd been quite an even game. Leicester probably shaded the possession. But like you said, it was almost like 2 goals out of nothing. You know, you said the first one, he just cuts it back and it's a bit of magic on the edge of the box from Lingard, quality finish. And you said the second one, it was you say you set a long ball, a long pass. It's just doing what we've been doing, which is putting balls over their defenders to put them on the back foot. And like you said, Bowen's been getting a lot of stick, especially for his final ball and his decision making. But you say he looked up, squared it for a tap in, and all of a sudden, from a game where we've been under pressure for large parts, you know, getting pressed back, struggling to make play, we've gone in at 2-0 up. Yeah,
absolutely, mate. And listen, you know, we've like you said, we've gone in 2-0 up at half time. Leicester City have came out and made a substitution. We were trying to work out what that substitution was. They brought a left back in, I think, was it? Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze, Matt. Explain that.
Yeah, he made a sub at half time. He took off Amati, who I don't think he's actually a centre back. I think he's been filling in there, trying to, you know, we had the Jack on, and then we had Neil on, and they both sort of said that, you know, they've got no wingers. The Leicester fans, they've got the wingers were all injured, so he's been forced to sort of play for wing backs. But the system, it's weird because I think last year they'd done really well playing with the 5 at the back, but in that first half, it really didn't suit them. I think maybe it might have been a tactical change. He took off Amati for a young kid who was a left back. So I think they sort of changed up, tried to match us up like a 4-5-1. Sorry, I think they changed to like a 4-5-1 because the back 5 for them wasn't working.
But listen, I mean, we started the second half still like we really finished the first half in the actual lost possession, allowing Lingard to run at the Leicester defence, which he does phenomenally well. He finds Souček in the box and he plays a clever pass over to Bowen for an easy, close range finish. Bowen with another goal, 3-0 West Ham, mate, and we're only in the 50th minute in the game. I mean, we're in dreamland.
Dreamland. You know, and I think what we were saying then was because we went 3-0 up in the second half, you know, maybe we thought that it was going to be a bit different for us, that we were going to be, you know, we were going to see this game out with a little bit more ease. But yeah, come on, lads. I mean, Anton, you and I sat there speaking at 3-0. Yeah. We were thinking that this cannot be happening. You know, it was unbelievable. And I actually thought, because we went 3-0 up in the second half, I genuinely thought we were going to it was going to end up being a lot calmer for us. But
well, listen,
wasn't
we
the
thought it
case.
would have been. We actually thought it would have been a little bit calmer. That what we did see was Creswell coming off the park. He's gone up for a header. It's his leading foot. It looks like a stretch. We don't know what it is, but he was going to try and carry on. And very quickly, we realised he couldn't carry on. He was holding his what looks like his hamstring. But he's come off the park, and hopefully, touch wood, we can get away with that one. And he just needs to precautionary substitution. We'll have to wait and see. We brought Balbuena onto the park, and we went back to Balbuena, Diop, and Dawson in the middle of that defence. But we didn't stop there. Matt, we went ahead, we went up, and Diop, from out of nowhere, scored a header, and we thought at this point we were 4-0 up. We thought we were going to be 4-0 up, but then VAR came in and read us the rights, didn't he?
Oh, I think if it had gone to 4-0, that actually would have been the game. You know, and it was tight. It was, just offside. The way his foot was standing, his moving. Ball back post. It was a good header in.
Yeah.
If it had stood, if it stood, I think it'd have been game over. I don't think Leicester would have got anywhere near as close to getting back in it as they did.
Yeah.
But it's the West Ham way, isn't it? We can't make things easy for ourselves.
No, really not, mate. And then a bit more information for you guys. I don't know if you know, but in the space of 2 minutes, there was 2 VAR checks for penalties for Leicester when Souček caught Thomas from behind in the box. But VAR said no, very quickly followed by when Dawson, what people are saying is cheekily, had a little stray arm that knocked Vardy, who definitely went down very easy, didn't he, still?
I saw the replay, mate, and I've got to be honest. I think we got away with that one.
Yeah.
I really do. Because Vardy made the most of it. Let's not be around the bush.
Up.
But his arm was up. And
Yeah.
I looked at that and thought, we have just gotten away with that one. It would have been soft, but it wouldn't have surprised me had it been given through VAR.
Yeah. Absolutely. Leicester made a substitution. They brought Albrighton on for Pryor. I thought Albrighton actually changed the game for Leicester, to be honest,
Matt.
Matt.
A very good game for him.
Yeah, he really did. He was really causing problems down the right-hand side for West Ham. And then he was feeding the ball into the box, and he actually had a couple of chances. We're 3-0 up, lads. We're thinking everything's all gravy come the 70th minute, and he actually steps up with a goal. Masuaku gains the ball. He does all the hard work, gives it away in a bad area. The ball breaks nicely to Iniacho from 25 yards out. He shoots. Fabianski should have got hold of the ball, but didn't. And it's one Leicester got to go back. Come on, still.
Masuaku's fault. Simple as that. Shouldn't be giving the ball away in that position. And how many times in Masuaku's West Ham career have we seen him do the same thing? Matt and I were talking about this, remembering the Brighton game last season, 3-1 up. Masuaku comes on, immediately gives the ball away in very much the same manner, where he tamely tries to go for the ball, not really no urgency in his movement, in his passing, gave the ball away. We went 3-2 and then 3-3 against Brighton this last season. And it was almost a copy of that. I know people love Masuaku because he does all the trickery and he has made goals, etc., etc. But someone said in the chat during the watch along, great in their half, not great in our own half. And that's the problem with Masuaku. He frustrates the hell out of me. And people say I knock him for the sake of it. I don't knock him for the sake of it. I knock him because, when he's in our half, he should be doing what a defender's meant to be doing. And he should be getting the ball away, and not pussyfooting around, etc. What about the time when he got the ball out of the feet of two players and then immediately just passed it straight to a Leicester player? Did the hard bit, but then the easy part, the easy thing. I think Matt might have alluded to it. The easy part, he kind of when he doesn't have time to think, he's better. When he has too much time to think on the ball, he messes it up. And that was a mess up from Masuaku. And I know Fabianski should have got his hands on it, but that's what gave Leicester the drive to start coming back. And that's what frustrates me about Masuaku.
Yeah, and listen, we've pushed forward. We're into the last 10 minutes, and Mark Noble makes an absolutely fantastic tackle, doesn't he, Alf? When Leicester gained the ball in the 18-yard box. All they need to do is fire the shot low, hard. It's going to go on target. It's probably going to put Fabianski under pressure, but that man himself, Mark Noble, puts his body on the line, and my word, he did, Alf, today. He came off after that. The following leg went through on him. We're not too sure what it was. He was struggling with his arm. However, what did you think of him today, Alf?
Oh, he had a great game. Absolutely great game. I think he was all over the pitch. First off, I think he was, he had that kind of deeper sit-in role, and he was spreading it around from the back or just sitting in front of the defence. I thought he was great all over, and I think he just made timely interceptions, timely tackles, and he did it about 2 or 3 times in the second half. So overall, for me, Mark Noble, he didn't do a lot of running, and he doesn't need to do a lot of running. I've always said this, some of the finest players that have ever graced the game have never been great runners. You just need to be able to be in the right position, just like a mature defender. A mature defender doesn't need to be fast. He just needs to be in the right position at the right time. And Mark Noble, he did that today. He epitomised that today. So he was great all round. I'm just a bit concerned. Well, for him, of course, and Krez as well. And Masuaku, I'm not sure if he's injured now. Where that leaves us in terms of our squad for the next games or for the remaining games.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. And of course, Mark Noble came off the substitute. We brought Ben Johnson on. Mark Noble making his 400th Premier League appearance today. Yeah. So take a bow, Mr. Mark Noble. You definitely stepped up to the plate today. And have maybe proven some of the doubters wrong. I mean, I'm not trying to say it's the be-all and end-all, but, what then
transpired... does that time and time again, though, doesn't he? He does that. We all doubt him, or all of us, collectively, a West Ham fan group, fan base, we all kind of doubt him for, has he got the legs, all that, and then every now and again he'll put in a good result. But I think, Stel, you were saying it time and time again throughout the game. It's not the individual game. I've always said exactly the same. It's not individual games with Mark Noble. It's repeated games. How effective is he going to be playing 1-2 games a week? He'll have one great game, and then he'll have 2 or 3 games of mediocre, and then he'll be left out, and then he'll come back and have another great game. So I think that's where we're at with him for the last sort of
agreed, Al.
3 or 4 years, I suppose he's been like that.
I think if Noble isn't injured, I mean, you said, Anton, that maybe Noble can have something put on his arm to protect it, but he wasn't moving it at all, mate.
You're right, he wasn't.
But if he does if he does make it for the next game, it is about Noble keeping consistency. And the only thing I'm worried about, I know, Matt, you said it and so on. He's only got a game a week, and so it should be okay. At his age and this time of year, at this time of the season, or the game, more and more pressure on these games, I worry that Noble's going to see out the last 7 games, or maintain, because he played really well today. I think he played well against Wolves as well, but he played a lot better today than he did against Wolves. Yeah. But it's about keeping that consistency. Yeah. And that's the thing that kind of slightly worries me.
Let me move further into the game. We're into the last 10 minutes, but before I do, if you're new around here and you've not done so far, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Now, listen, it wasn't just Mark Noble making last-ditch tackles. That man, Fabianski, stepped up and, like Estelle said, was a goal-saving save. It was a fantastic save, wasn't it? I think that was with, 5 or 6, 7 minutes to go.
The way he took that ball off that player's feet was incredible. That was world-class. So for the error he made, or if you call it an error, the fact that he didn't reach out for their first goal to try and at least get his hands on it. The way he dived down at the feet, and it's so dangerous for a keeper in this day and age. You've only got to get a slight touch on a player, and you get a penalty given against you. And to get down there and grab, I mean, it was brilliant. I mean, it's weird, wasn't it? I don't know if it was before or after, where he went down and Balbuena was around him and they fumbled it. They went out for a corner, which was odd. Rumours are it's just a dead arm. That might be what David Moyes wants you to think, but it looked worse than a dead arm to me.
Well, let me go further into the game. We're sitting here, we're watching the game, we're 3-1 up. We're sitting here talking about injury time. We're guessing 4 minutes. The referee puts up 6 minutes. We spend a minute moaning about it, and what we then see is Iheanacho gets a goal and puts the pressure onto us. Matt, talk to me about that, mate. Talk to me about the last 5 minutes.
Well, you mentioned to begin with when he came on, Albrighton actually made a massive difference for Leicester when he came on for Dennis Pratt, and he literally spent the whole time he came on just like hugging the touchline on that right hand side, forcing us to stretch our play, and he was putting in good balls. And it was just one of them. He got wide, whipped the ball in. I think he took a really unlucky deflection off the bottom or the back of Diop's foot, entirely changed the projection of the ball, and then Iheanacho's just somehow stolen in between Soufal and I think it was Dawson or Balbuena. He somehow stuck in between the two of them, put it in the bottom corner, and we're sitting there thinking, oh my God. It's 5 minutes to go now, and they got another one back, and we're all sitting there going, oh, not again. But credit,
it was definitely squeaky bum time, but you know what, Alf? We did hold on, didn't we, mate? I mean, listen, the lesson learned, I suppose you could say, and listen, we all know Moyes is going to go mental again, conceding 7 goals in 3 games. But at the end of the day, you still need to walk away with the 3 points and outscore your opposition. And we've done it now twice. We've walked away with 7 points after playing Arsenal, Wolves, and Leicester. I mean, guys, Alf, 4th place, mate. Have a look at that league. Have a look at that beautiful site, mate.
Yeah, brilliant.
7 games to go.
Yeah. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And big thanks to Kevin Siegel as well. Thanks for your support on the channel. I think we're just doing brilliantly well. We've had a fantastic season, but we are making it very nervous. We're all getting very nervous with these results. But today we started slow, but we suddenly woke up. We got 2 goals, then we got a 3rd. It could have been a 4th, and we were looking really good. But then we, as with other games, we've let teams back in, and it just gets so. We're not putting teams away, and we're making it as if that we could easily lose a game. Where we're such a commanding position. I think that's the worry for us. Now, when I say a worry, we've got to sort of temper that negativity with the overall positivity. Look, we're 4th, and we're points win prizes basically. We're getting the wins, we're getting the results. So we can't. We've always got to think. We are winning, but we're winning slightly ugly in the second half, because the first half we're winning, easily, and then we're just, we're basically losing miserably in the second half, and that's essentially what's happening. It's happening a bit too much. We seem to go off the boil in and out of games, and it seems if we get nervous, and then all of a sudden we let teams in, and we just lose our shape. Our passing is all over the place.
Well, I was just going to say though, Alf. Alf, and I'll pass this one over to you. Still, at one point in the game, we actually weren't too sure what position any of the players were particularly playing at one point, were we?
Yeah.
Confused, because we knew that Johnson came on to replace Noble, which we all agree was an odd choice. And poor Ben Johnson, he looked lost. And then Ben Rama came on. And we weren't sure what position he was asked to play. And at some point, Souček at some point was playing at right back, and all of a sudden he was playing up front. And the players were kind of when you bring players on to play in a position that they're not accustomed to, that can start causing a little bit of confusion around the whole team. And I think that's what kind of happened. And I just wonder if that contributed towards their second goal. Because it just felt as if like the players were all over the place, and for me, I don't know if he's good enough or not, because I haven't seen him play fully in a Premier League game. I would have bought Connor Coventry on for Noble, because it's like for like, and then at least you would have known the player that you brought on is coming on for the player that has just come off, and that's what I would have done. But I'm not David Moyes, so yeah. But at one point, you're absolutely
you
right.
certainly are not, mate.
You know,
let me ask you this, lads. You know, there are sort of a few years you could say, you know, for many years you could say that in many games.
Cheers, Phil.
West Ham have you know, been unlucky. You know, we've lost a game, we've been unlucky. But now, are we saying that West Ham deserve to be where we are, or we're actually lucky to be where we are?
No, we deserve it. 100% deserve it.
And is it down to Moyes?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. It's just that he still baffles us. Moyes, despite how great we've done, Moyes, sorry, I'm eating. I know someone said, please don't eat with your mic on. Moyes still baffles us in the way he decides to go about things. We do sit here and go...
But you said like that
right.
Johnson sums it
Like
up.
the
We're
Johnson
sitting there thinking, no one's got to come off. I said to you in a live watch along right at the end, I said, if he wanted to put on a defender to protect the back three...
Yeah, you said
Alves.
Alves.
Could have brought on Alves.
Yeah.
He could have brought Alves on. Because at least he plays in the centre.
Yes, but at the end of the day, though, Matt, we are doing what we do. Moyes is doing what he's doing, and he's grinding out these results. I'm going to read some stats to you in a second. Stats that are literally mind-boggling as West Ham fans. I want to read out the comment from Fodo, obviously for the donation. Am I dreaming? Can someone pinch me? Great job, lads. Nice to have you back. Alf still. Suwaku, leave my Suwaku alone. I need a certain hostage video, please. And there's a comment up here I want to read. Here it is. English Yardie. These pundits called for us to lose today. Rice, Antonio, Oggy out. There's no way we can win. Kudos to Moyes, giving his team confidence. Let me read some of these stats to you, though. In 2021, only Manchester City have won more Premier League matches than West Ham United, who have picked up 32 points from a possible 45 this calendar year.
Jeez.
Are we talking about West Ham? Hang on.
I'm not finished. Are you ready for this? This was David Moyes' 50th Premier League game in charge during his second spell at West Ham. West Ham have won 75 points in those 50 games, winning 21, drew 12, lost 17, are most over a 50-game period in a top flight since winning 76 points between March 2007 and September 2008. Jesse Lingard is the first West Ham United player to score in 4 consecutive Premier League appearances since Antonio in 2016. And yeah, the stats about Jesse Lingard, I think we've said them all the way long. He is only the 9th Premier League, and is only his 9th Premier League appearance for West Ham. He's reached double figures for goals and assists combined, 8 goals, 3 assists. It's the quickest the Hammers player has ever done so. Last time out was Paul Kitson, previously reaching double figures, the fastest 12 games in 97.
Right. 3, 2, 1. Wake up, everyone. We're really 4th from bottom, aren't we? Come on. We are, aren't we? We're 4th from bottom. I mean, those stats are incredible. And that's no fluke, is it? Because that's consistency. That's the thing about this. People are talking. If anyone says that this is a fluke that West Ham because the fans aren't there and all this bullshit, you know, that's consistent stats over a long period of time. If it, I can see us carrying on. Someone mentioned earlier, you know, we're going to be on the Moyes' back and the players' backs if we don't do the same next season. We may not get 4th place next season, but I bet we're going to be there or thereabouts. We're going to be 5th, 6th, 7th, and I bet this is what we've been hoping for ever since leaving the Boleyn. This is what we've been dreaming of. This is what we were told we were going to get, you know. But this is down to David Moyes. Totally down to David Moyes. What's the breaking news?
But this is David Moyes. He's crafting a squad, or he has crafted a squad full of, you know, hard-working, enthusiastic players. You know, I mean, the only thing I would say against Moyes, not against him, but the one decision I wasn't quite sure about his transfers, is that if he's after those kind of players, why did he get rid of Snodgrass? That's the only question. Yeah, possibly.
To be honest, though, Alf, see right now, I literally I struggle to find a negative when it comes to. I know there's negatives, but I struggle to
Right, yeah, not
with
a
the decision.
negative.
But
Yeah.
the decision with Snodgrass, the decision with Diangana, like everything has been
Yeah.
proven right so far, and Haller going out and Anderson going out.
Haller definitely, and
Yeah.
Anderson definitely. Get it?
But-
I want it about. Get him out. Yeah, but
Yeah. There is
But,
a
you know,
breaking news story, though, I want to bring to your attention.
Go on.
There's a story coming out from the Leicester camp saying that 3 of their players have apparently had a COVID breach,
Oh fuck.
which might
Here we go.
have an impact on whatever
Ham.
their. Well, no, not in West Ham. It's more to do. I was more thinking of would it have an impact on their season, Leicester City's season, depending on if any of their players have any positive
Whoa.
tests. 'Cause
Champions League.
You never know.
We're having a laugh. Champions League. We're there, aren't we? Champions
you
League.
never know. You never know.
So hang
never
on.
know.
So these are 3 players that obviously weren't involved today.
No, I don't know. I think it is potentially someone who has been involved today. But I don't think when they're involved playing a game of football, it has an effect on the opposition team because they're not in side-by-side company for longer than the 15 minutes, etc. But hold on a minute. There's more breaking news. You ready for this?
Go on.
Whistle.
Oh
But
my
you know
God!
what?
Look at that, lads! Look at that.
So tight. It's so tight, though. And you know, I mean, who's below Liverpool? Is it Spurs? Is it? And what are they on?
Well, they're playing
40
at the moment, aren't they?
49, I think.
No,
Yeah, they can't catch us up. Whatever happens, they can't get. The only thing that makes me nervous about that is look at our goal difference compared to everyone around us. It's the only thing that makes me nervous about. If we missed out on Champions League because of goal difference, how much will it? You know, all these 3-2s, we go 3-0 up, 3-0 up, 3-0 up. You know, how much will that hurt us? You know, heading for second. That's the thing I'm worried about. We've not got the best goal difference amongst those top 6, and I would hate it if we missed out just because of bloody goal difference. I would hate it, but you know.
Listen, lads, I think that really calls time in our highlights and words videos.
Yeah.
I mean, I can hear the missus smashing cupboard doors in the background because she's annoyed that I said I would make dinner and it's not getting made. But is there any last final comments that you want to make? Yeah, I admit it.
Brilliant. It's just brilliant, isn't it? Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant to be a West Ham fan, but very nerve-wracking. You know, I was saying at 3-0, I felt nervous. Stal, do you feel nervous? And then Stal, you kept on saying, it's 3-2.
I kept saying 3-2 for
you kept saying 3-2.
I blame
you know something we didn't.
Right, come on. Okay. Time to name your man of the match, Matt.
To give it to Jesse again. Right.
Yeah.
The guy is literally carrying us on his back right now.
Yeah. He is, mate.
If you think about the stats you said, was it 8 goals, 3 assists or whatever?
I'm going to go against the grain here, and I am going to say Matt. No. I'm going to say Mark Noble. Mark Noble, I'm going to say.
And I'm going to say Bowen. I'm going to say Bowen for scoring one and making one, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm going to go. I'll just join you, Matt, and say Jesse, definitely. But you know what? It was an all-round performance from everyone today. And listen, I want to talk to you before we go about that man, Diop. Talk to me. I thought he had a good game today, to be honest.
Yeah, he did.
Yep.
He did.
Yep.
There's a few little moments in there I think he had. But apart from that, no, it's fine.
Yep. Next up for West Ham is Newcastle. Newcastle up
banana skin.
Well, let's hope we can do something and get a bit of payback.
That could easily go either way, couldn't it? That one. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, listen, lads, anyone that's watching, please make sure you do subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the thumbs up and please leave a comment. It is Sunday, but it's not Sunday with a West Ham Weekly tonight, unfortunately, for any of you regular viewers, because Stell has officially moved his West Ham Weekly to a Monday because that big thumb is right over his forehead. That is why he is doing it.
The one that you've got.
No, you're fine, mate. That's why
he is doing it right now. Get here and make the dinner right now.
So Stell is not doing the West Ham Weekly. Therefore, there is a little gap opening, and we may be starting to fluctuate and change some of the shows around and maybe bring something into that slot. But we'll have more information on that moving forward. But what we do have tomorrow is next West Ham Daily. That will be back in the afternoon, 1:15 p.m. ish, and then followed by the West Ham
that
Weekly.
you're doing.
The one at West Ham Weekly
doing that?
tomorrow
Are you
evening.
doing that?
And we'll
Are
make
you
sure that you are subscribing to the channel and liking and hitting the comments. Thank you very much for watching. He's been Matt. He's been Stel. He's been Alf. I've been Anton. West Ham and United. Come on,
Thanks
you
everybody in the chat for joining in and letting us know your comments, all that kind of stuff. Right, ta-da.